tell you, I will not be voting for Janet this year, but that's because I live in Fairfax City, okay? So don't get after me, but we've got some great people here. Let me start with the elected officials. I see David Bulova in the parking lot and just now walking through the front door, David Bulova. I see other elected officials, pop your hand up. I see Patrick Hope, delegate from Northern Virginia, Arlington, Northern Fairfax.
Yay, Patrick!
We've got Kathy Smith, the wonderful future lady from Sullivan. Current school board member running for county board. We've got Bettina Lawton running for Fairfax County Circuit Court. We have any other elected officials? I want to be an elected official. Okay. Let me give you a brief introduction about Janet, and then I'm going to turn it over
To David.
to David. I first met Janet when I was running for the House of Delegates in 2001. That's how Janet and I, or excuse me, Ben and I first met her. And she was basically very active in the school system. She was somebody that was, I would say in one word, tenacious. She was somebody that got involved. She was not intimidated. She did not back down. She stuck with me in my campaigns, which were very, very hotly contested, especially when we were first running for delegate. And then, of course, she ran for the school board in 2003. She was a great member of the school board. She was countywide officer. I think she ran at the top of the ticket that year in 2003. Was a fabulous member of the school board. She was not afraid to take on the establishment a little bit, and yes, I mean the county board. I was a witness to some of those dialogues, and Janet had some guts. And she ran in 2007. I ran against Ken Cuccinelli, and that was really a watershed year in the state senate. She ended up losing, I think, by less than 100 votes in one of the closest Senate races we ever had in Northern Virginia. And it was a race that was important, that even though she didn't make it, Janet was a team player. We ended up picking up the state Senate that year for the Democrats. And really, we wouldn't have won that state Senate unless we had Janet out there taking bullets, even though she didn't make it in. Not literally, but even though she didn't make it in, she was a great team player and a great candidate, and she really helped rally this community, the Robinson Lake Braddock community, and bring them online for her campaign. 2011, Janet ran, again, Democratic candidate for Braddock. I was running for re-election that year. We had a great synergy between our campaigns. She ran an extremely close race. 2011 was a tough year. We had just come off a Republican year in 2009 and 2010. John Cook had been elected the supervisor, and obviously the Republicans still had a lot of momentum. And if you may remember, we almost lost the 11th congressional district. Janet came in, again, ran an extremely close race. In a way, I think if we had known how close it was going to be, we probably could have pushed her some more assets at the front end, and maybe she could have made it in. But again, she was there all the way for the Democrats. And, I always say there's two things, and I tell my daughters this, there's two things in politics that matter above all else. One is loyalty, the other is honesty. And you get both from Janet, and I appreciate that. You know where she stands, you know who she stands with, and she's been someone, like I said, that has a lot of integrity, and she speaks up for what she believes in, starting with the school kids in Fairfax County. So we're coming into the 2015 cycle. I'm up on the ballot again. I know some other folks, Patrick's up on the ballot again. The state races, and well, David's on, I'm going to get him in a second. Kathy Smith running for Sully District, which will be a battleground. You can count on that, literally a battleground. And so, it's going to be an exciting and a lot of close races, and there probably won't be any more close races than this one right here in Braddock District. Yep. And so I'm proud to stand here today to represent Janet. And again, like I said, I'm just a little old guy in Fairfax City. So I'm going to step aside and throw it over to a man who needs no introduction from me, but he's going to get one anyway. And that's my state delegate, your friend, the Honorable David Bulova.